Hello. I'm Kleinerdeal. Welcome back. Welcome back. You know what time it is. Let's get ready to start. Oh, ooh, it's a little bit juicy. I need to turn it down. Yeah, yeah. The last episode was a little bit short, but we finished off the branch, and now I wanna do this next branch. Not the next branch. The other one. The other one. Just because I'm curious about it. This game is really nice. It's good. I like it. I would play it a little bit more here. So instead of going to Zin and asking her about the stuff, we're going to the flower mansion and see what they're doing. Hey, we're here. Something's wrong. Can you focus, Turing? Something's wrong.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was wool gathering.
Wool
I
gathering.
see we've arrived at the Melody Flores residence. It's quite impressive. But that's to be expected, considering that she is still the majority owner of the Flower Cybernetics Group, despite retiring from day-to-day operations at the company.
Nice.
I wonder how she and Hayden first began working together. Sorry. Back on task.
Maybe she was working on the flower shop and he was visiting her. Hmm?
Is there anything you'd like to know before we head inside?
Sure. Hmm. What can you tell me about Melody?
Not a whole lot. She's largely private, in contrast to her mother's penchant for courting a media circus.
Hmm.
Several biographies of former Flower executives show her as intensely passionate about demilitarizing the company to the point of absolute viciousness in the boardroom. But it's been a long time since her days of fighting for the company, and she's since stepped away from the helm. There's talk that she's lost her spine in her old age, but well,
But
I'd take that with a grain of salt. She may have retreated from the corporate battlefield, but you don't change the entire direction of a company as large as Flower if you're a quitter.
hmm.
Stay on your toes.
So didn't Yannick say he and Melody had a falling out?
He did, and I can't shine much light on that.
Hmm.
I know that System 1 worked with Flower to help develop the first operating systems for the direct link virtual reality implants, so perhaps it happened during that time.
Could be.
Also, Flower eventually went with a different company for future models of the implant, but there was never any public talk of a personal falling out between the heads of the companies.
All right.
I'll scrape the mesh for more rumors, but they'll only be that rumors.
Mm-hmm.
I can do my best to parse fact from fiction, but it blurs too much for me to be sure what's real.
Mm-hmm. So then just give me a rundown of Flower Cybernetics.
Flower Cybernetics was established in the early 2000s by Melody's mother, Antonella.
Mm-hmm.
It started out developing cutting edge medical tech, including advanced prosthesis and nanoparticle diagnostic and treatment technologies. They were vastly successful when they perfected the first synthetic nerve mesh, allowing direct connection and control between the nervous system and a cybernetic prosthesis. The majority of their early projects were defense technologies for the American military, developing ruggedized military prosthesis for use on injured soldiers, and then eventually electively for special forces.
Mm-hmm.
This research line culminated in the development of brain-controlled androids as shock troops, long since barred by international law. Melody took over the company from her aging mother, and she fought against developing further military hardware from that point on.
Mm-hmm.
She pushed the company to use the BCA technology for the company's original goals of medical advancement, as well as developing the first direct link virtual reality implants. The company is largely successful on a global scale, despite continued legislative movement against extensive cybernetic use.
Okay, I think that's enough touring. Let's go ahead and head in.
No time like the present, then.
Mm-hmm. See first. What can we see? I see a plant.
These tall shrubs could line the estate of a Victorian duke. They're that stuffily pleasant to look at.
Mm-hmm. Kinda, yeah. They have this stale beauty that can only come from the care of obligated professionals. It's likely they have ridiculous maintenance routines as well. Like only being watered every Friday for exactly 38 seconds. No more or less.
These tall shrubs could line the...
Okay, it's the same. Let's touch it.
These evergreens are perfectly sculpted. Be careful not to wreck the mold if you touch.
Mm-hmm. Let's touch.
Don't treat the junipers like arbor vitae.
The what? Like what? Juniper
Don't
like
you know
arborvitae?
the difference between a shrub and a bush?
Probably isn't worth the risk of touring exploding. Ah, come on.
These evergreens are perfectly...
Okay. Then let's use my zapper. The blend takes the volts like a champ. Result in green in the face of the pistol's rage. Oh, nice. Some of the leaves do quiver and repeat zaps, but as whole, this plant presents a noble front. Okay, let's look at the window. Windows line the front of the house and broadcast the hints of an expertly designed den inside. It's framed with light blue curtains that probably cost more than your rent each. Okay. Sorry. The anguished cry of the window cleaner bellows in your soul as you smudge one of the panes. That fingerprint could become incriminating if this trip goes dark. Oh well. Okay, let's use my ID card. A small, poorly photographed version of your face is now directly displayed against the mansion's window. Oddly enough, this unlocks no secret entrances awards no points, and just makes Turin look at you kind of funny. What do you expect the window to open? Okay, it's the same. It's the same. Let's listen to them. The windows try their best to produce deep, meaningful lyrics, but the effort is transparent. It feels rather melancholy listening to a window use music to display its pain. Okay. Other plant. They have this stale beauty. Okay, it's the same. It's the same.
Don't you know that...
It's the same. It's
These
the same.
evergreens are perfectly sculpted.
Okay, the plants are the same. The light. Let's look at the window as well. Okay, the window as well. So let's look at the bear statue. Small-scale bear statues guard the entrance to the mansion.
They'd look cuter if they had little outfits on.
It is a little bear. It could use a sweater tie, maybe a top hat. Top to the morning, yeah. Okay, let's touch him. You can take it, not marble, nor the gilded monuments.
Don't destroy the Ursine aesthetic.
Oh. I'm not destroying, I'm just touching. Okay, it's the same. Let's talk to it. Hey, baby, what's your sign? The silence is unbearable. You both are just polar opposites. It's not a heartbreak. It feels more like a cardiac arrest. It can be difficult to find solidarity. All shall bear witness to these puns. You were barely ready for this. Getting through all of these is pretty grisly. Sorry, have to pander to the fan base. We have a pun quota. This is the bare menu. Oh man. You're getting so angry. The rage inside you is brewing. Oh, was that one berry necessary? Now this is battle of who first will cave. You know you love these puns. Don't be such a sun. Your sign broke the sun's barrier. Did you know a group of bears is called a slough? Probably not. That's why there wasn't a slough, but give it a second to come up with another one. Beer is it. Beer with it. Come on. Hey, okay, it's repeating now. The statue's head is too big to fit them on. No sweet jams for this beer. Besides, it needs some sunglasses if it's going to commit to that look. The statue, okay, that's the same. Okay, let's you.
Don't
Okay, it's the same. The same. The same. Let's look at the door. 2 dark wooden doors make up the mansion's entranceway. A small foyer can see in through their molded glasses. The doorway is crowned with a marble bear craving. Seems to be the theme here. 2 dark wooden doors. Okay.
Maybe we should ring the bell first?
No. Just knock. Knock, knocking on heaven's
Being
door.
expected is not the same as just barging in, and we're not even expected.
Okay.
Maybe we should ring the...
Okay. Let's show them the brochure. The Organizational Outreach Act of 2043 forbade anyone from presenting pamphlets from the groups they weren't affiliated with in private doorways. Ever since the vacuum salesman's incident of 48, enforcement of the OOA has been swift. Okay, it's the same. Okay, let's look at the doorbell. This looks like the buzzer from an apartment complex. She needs one of these just for one house. It has the usual pane and speaker too, but the communication is only one way. This looks like... Okay, let's talk to it. You can't use the speaker without ringing the bell. Okay. Doorbells have the traditional been more of a push thing. Okay, let's push it. Come on. I don't even want to know.
We meant no disrespect. Your guess is as good as mine. Mine says we can go in. Should we?
No, first ring the doorbell again.
The door's open. No need to ring the bell.
Yes.
Let's just go in.
Yes.
The door's open. No
Okay.
need.
Let's go inside.
Oh, wow. Swanky.
Swanky?
What? I have been trying to increase my usage of colloquialisms.
Oh.
Is swanky too out of date?
Nah, unless you would say something like slay.
It's certainly before my time.
Oh, Ms. Flores! Excuse us for the intrusion. My name is Turing, and...
Oh, I know who you are.
I can explain. I know you don't like Dr. Fairlight very much, but I assure you there's a situation.
Fairlight? I didn't realize Hayden's research had become a charity case. Though I suppose little boy Yannick will throw money at anything that raises his profile on the mesh.
Wait, you know Hayden? Also, we actually only just met Dr. Fairlight yesterday.
Oh, that's too bad. Now Pat won't have to eat you.
Oh.
Though I'm not sure your gears would have been good for his digestion.
Actually, madam, I'm not comprised of gears.
Well, either way, he's on a diet.
Eating humans.
This philosophy is how I lead my life. Sometimes you eat the bear, and sometimes the bear, well, he eats you. Do you understand?
Not really.
Look, I don't have all day to entertain you, Turing, nor your new friend. Not even for Hayden. You don't have time to waste if you're going to find him, either.
Right.
So, what can we do? Let's look at the gardening room. A Malcolm model room is tending to the garden. Don't worry, they're just trimming that bush. It can be very important to the health of your garden to keep your bush nice and tidy. Always keep the bush nice and tidy, yeah? Some people like a natural growth, but others greatly prefer a neatly trimmed bush. Some people don't like bushes at all. What do you guys like? A trimmed bush? A nicely natural grown bush? Or just no bush at all? Just straight flat garden. We're talking about gardening, right? It's all about personal preference. You gotta see the forest for the trees. Leave a like if you know what I mean. Look at the planter. A large climate control globe towers in the launch. It will have some lively in-season plants inside. Out of all the healthy plants and interesting habitats you've come across, this one takes the metaphorical cake. The planter's shape makes it look like the plants inside it are reclining on one of those awesome sliding chairs. The posture works. A chill plant is a lush plant, apparently. Okay, let's touch it. The planter box looks impossible to open, but rubbing the outside does produce a nice squeaky plastic on furniture sound. You could totally scratch a hot track with this effect. Wiki wiki, as they say.
Please stop.
Okay, let's listen to it. The plants are listening to an ambient trance playlist on the platform called Rooty. Rooty, the horribly named procedural radio service for the upscale planter boxes. These plants are... okay, let's zap him. The plants are shocked. No. Not in actually electrified way, just surprised that you would pull something like that on them. Luckily, your zaps doesn't override the weather control. The plants are shocked. Okay, let's look at this one. A pair of white window doors are set open in the back of the room, leading to a plush garden. It's like a portal to Elfglade, if Elfglades had the sounds of a car traffic in the distance. Okay, it's the same. Can one truly use an open door? You have no okay. Use the door. If one used something which is already in a state of being used, did the person really even use it at all? Yes, because then you can unuse it. Wow. Deep thoughts with the deep. Can one truly... okay, it's the same. Let's talk to the door. The doors looked open to conversation. This chair's for recovering from social exhaustion. The conversation chairs are in the tea room. Maybe a little too open. That just makes it awkward. It's like, I know you're open to chatting with me, doors, but maybe be a little less obvious about it. Okay, yeah, okay, it's the same. Trying to catch it in the middle is impossible, because at that point they aren't doors at all, but ajar. Okay, the doors to this conversation are now slammed shut. No, he doesn't want to talk with me anymore. Okay, let's look at the fountain. A huge marble fountain adorns the courtyard. Its pleasant bubbling sound can just barely be heard over the TV and outdoor ambience. It's a simple goblet design, and its edges are rippled slightly, so the water trickles off in the curved rivets. It's a nice effect. Yeah, okay, it's the same. Besides, this estate really doesn't need any extra change. Dipping a hand in might be nice, but later. You have no coins to throw? Okay, let's use my brochure.
Most of the human revolution's arguments don't hold water.
It's not waterproofed? Oh, bad, bad, bad. This is the kind of cheap pamphlet where the colors would get all runny too. If you're going to pass out materials, at least get it laminated. That's what you should take away from this.
Most of the human revolution's
Okay, let's go to the room control. A room control monitor is fixed onto the back of the wall of the room. The temperature is set so low it's freezing. Maybe for the bear. It looks like an antique. It seems having all the money in the world doesn't mean much without your creature comforts. And your bears. A room control monitor is fixed onto the back of the room. Okay, let's touch it. Only Madame Flores and a team of techno-archaeologists could figure out how to make this fossil run. Until then, you have to deal with the frostbite. Aww. The thing is so old, it can't even be considered hip in the vintage market anymore. Oh, okay, let's use my brochure. This thing is so old, I might even agree with you and reminisce on the good old days when computers and humankind were separate but functional. Back in this old computer's day, humans were humans and computers were computers. And those that ran on Linux kept it to themselves because no one needed to hear about that outside of the bedroom. Did you know Linux is an operating system? It's the same as when you have an Apple phone and you tell everyone, "Hey guys, I have an Apple iPhone. I'm so nice. I'm so rich." What the fuck? Oh man, those were the days. It's old, but it's not in need of defibrillator. Does this even run on electricity? Could it perhaps be steam powered? Okay. Let's look at the monitor. The latest episode of Medias Blitz is going into the sordid details of a new teen actor island, love affairs with a local politician's daughter. These shows are so demeaning, reducing the private lives of famous people to soap operas for the lowest common denominator. Ooh! The Marataki twins got thrown out of Dog's place for fist fighting? That guys with the transparent hair? Wait, how is this late already? The latest episode of Media Blitz is going into the sordid details of a new teenage actor island love affair with the local politician's daughter. This show, okay, let's touch it.
Media Blitz disabled touch interactivity on their show after the appearance of their new host, a former swimming champion, led to thousands of screens being fondled into disrepair.
Don't.
Okay.
I'm watching that.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Media Blitz disabled.
Okay. Let's talk to the monitor. All direct feed viewer requested have been calculated for this episode of Media Blitz already. Have to scream those into the TV before they get to the wall of crotch shots segment. All direct feed viewer requests have been... Okay, it's the same. Let's use the brochure. The last time Media Blitz hosted a celebrity that supported the human revolution, the amount of angry messages from both sides that the studio received caused a network-wide ban of this issue. Now, they just focus on the important stuff, news, where no one can get upset, like cats in trees and robotic cats in trees. The TV is to be watched, not read to. Oh, okay, one more. Okay, let's look at the ROM. R051E 893 unit from the emblem on its side. It sits patiently near Pat in a sort of ambient sleep mode, playing light instrumental music.
The Rosie series are the most socially organized ROMs, designed to track personal liaisons and maintain social calendars.
Oh,
It was nicknamed the Jane Austen bot by Assets magazine a few years back in its annual Mandatory Machines issue.
nice. Despite this being in sleep mode and playing soothing music, you can feel this tiny machine judging you. How does it judge me? A Rosie 893 unit. Okay, let's use it. Like the high-stakes socialite relationships, it monitors the Rosie is extremely delicate. The palpable air of upless class judgment in the room makes it risky to touch anything, especially the over 34,000 credit ROM. It is not tote bag, it's just kind of looks like one. Like the high-stakes socialist relationships it monitors, the Rosie is extremely delicate. It's the same. Yeah, okay. Let's talk to it. Rosie units are designed to remain in sleep mode until reactivated only by its owner's voice. Oh. A tasteful arrangement of Philip glasses works as the unit's only response. It's one of these tunes from that weird wordless movie with the Russian-sounding name that made everyone fall asleep in high school. Okay, let's use my ID card. A background program researched your entire family history. It now knows more about where you came from than you ever have. Nice. Who knew your ancestors were dead in the moonshine? Okay. Let's use the business card. A background program researches the Fairlight family history. Huh? Fairlight's great uncle on his mother's side was a chief for the second Clinton administration? Neat. Fairlight owned a mall when he was only 16. Odd fact. Of course. Okay. Let's look at Pat.
Melody keeps unusual company. Ursus maritimus, if I'm not mistaken.
Ursus maritimus.
That might be why the temperature controls are set so low in here.
A polar bear. Definitely a polar bear.
I wasn't aware you knew the scientific name of the species.
It's a scientific name? I think the Ursus spiralursus is the scientific name.
Has my interest in proper nomenclature started to rub off on you?
You know... you know, he's a white bear, Turing. What else could he be?
Plenty. Have you heard of a Kermode bear, also known as a spirit bear? Or he could be a white-phased black bear, or even a pizzly.
Pizzly?
But he's not. It's a polar bear.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yep, definitely a polar bear.
He looks nice.
Unless she dyed his fur.
So it's brown bear but white?
Yep, definitely a polar bear.
Okay, let's touch him. Pat is Melody's butler, not yours. He will offer services when and only when his mistress permits. Grooming is also a Melody-only activity. Might get weird if some random person started getting up in his fur. Okay, let's talk to him. So, grrr, and stuff? Does a bear you know, never mind. Pat, what are the burdens you bear? Pat, what is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life? Woof? Even if it's confused about that. Okay. Okay. What else do we have? We even have the teapot and the strawberries. Let's look at the chair. A plush purple fainting chair dominates the room. It positively reeks of antiquated glass from back when proper ladies got the vapors. and when polio was still a thing. A plush purple thing. Okay, let's touch it. This chair keeps a strict 1-to-1 human to animal nature ratio. A 1-to-1 human animal ratio. Think of it like a playground swing for the rich and the lazy. This chair keeps strict. Okay. Let's talk to the chair. Once one must observe proper speech to furniture protocol. Gabbing with the fainting chair is most unbecoming. This chair is for recovering from social exhaustion. The conversation chairs are in the tea room. Oh. Let's show them my ID card. No! You want to network with the people on the expensive chair, not with the furniture itself. Easy mix-up to make. The chair does look like it has serious connection. Okay. Let's show them my zapper. While the stun gun would certainly cause fainting, and thus makes the chair useful, it would just cinch the upholstery or fire directly onto the chair. It is impressive how an everyday zapper could cause tens of thousands of credits in property damage so easily. While the stun guns would okay. Let's look at the cat. The most regal looking robotic cat in the world sits prime and proper on the fainting chair. If it spoke any languages outside of robotic meows, it could probably trace its lineage back to the cradle of the jungle cat civilization.
Lily here is a model based on the Persian river cat, one of the newest designer breeds to be put on the market.
Oh.
They are prized for their traditional Egyptian features, despite being more directly related to a Chinese breed.
Not bad, yeah? Her outfit cost more than yours. The most regular... Okay, it's the same. Let's pet it. You give the cat a pet. The name on her collar says Lily. Let's pet Lily. Don't crowd the cat. Robot felines are double humanless. Ow! She just bit you. Robotic teeth hurts. Ow. Don't crowd the cat. Robot felines... Okay, it's the same. Let's talk to Lily. It looks like remarkably bored at all attempts at conversation. The cat is much more occupied with the overseeing its domain. It looks remarkably bored. Okay, let's show them my ID card. It already knows who you are, and it's unimpressed. Oh. If the cat wanted to address you, you would have received a monogrammed invitation in the mail a few weeks prior to your unscheduled appearance. Okay, let's look at the strawberries. The biggest strawberries you have ever seen are assembled in a china bowl on the coffee table.
These strawberries are genetically modified using the Flockhart method, altered most for aesthetic appearance.
Oh.
This is in contrast to the Borlaug method, where food is modified for greater crop yield and higher nutritional benefit.
No, not bad. So it's just to make rich people look even more fancy? That shade of red is not really found in nature. The biggest straw... Okay, let's touch them. They look too good to be eaten. That might be the point.
Those are for Pat, not you.
Oh. The bear's treats are probably tastier than anything you can cook. They look too good to eat. Okay, let's use my brochure about it. If ever there was a case to be made for pure naturalism, this bowl of modified strawberries would be it. The agricultural scientists and food lobbyists would be the ones that need to see the pamphlet. The fruit itself doesn't really have a voice in the congressional bylaws. If ever there was a case to be... Okay, let's say... Let's use the stun gun. These strawberries have been modified to resist electrocution, to protect growth in the face of storms. Shooting one of the berries just makes them glow for a second. Not even a bruise.
Are you quite done?
Not yet. Okay, let's look at the teapot. A thin string of steam escapes the delicate spout.
The blue and white coloring is an imitation of a popular set used in Scotland in the late Edwardian era. Sadly, no true originals exist.
Maybe this is the original. The tea arrangement is simple, but refined. The desire for short-breed cookies comes immediately and strongly. A thin string of skips the delicate spot. Yes, Lou, use the teapot. The handling of the teapot is strictly the domain of the host servants, at least in homes of this class.
Making myself a note to teach you some tea time manners.
Sure thing. The handling of the teapot. Okay, let's talk to the teapot. The teapot itself is busy, but the computerized pot holder takes note of your request temperature change. The phrase, shall I be, mother, scores along the rim of the pot holder. Must be a British thing. I don't know, not sure. Okay, so, yes, we have everything here. Let's look at Melody. Melody Flores, nanomachine Hiernis, and the owner of the Flower Cybernetics Group.
Madame Flores is more of a royal figurehead at Flower these days. The group's board of directors make most of the major decisions in consultation with FCG's chief officers.
The matron scent of a dozen causes has grown more removed in recent years. An earthquake couldn't sway her from her luxurious repose. At her age and with her residuals, she doesn't need to get up for anything. Okay, let's touch her. Try again when you have a trust fund or hold a majority of Fortune's 500 company. Until then, Melody uses you. In Russia, in Mother Russia, Melody using you. You do know she's got a bear, right? Try again. Okay, let's use my ID card.
That's nice, dear. Let's keep our personal information to ourselves, shall we?
No, I want you to know who I am, because, you know, I'm a big journalist.
That's nice, dear.
Ouch. Let's show her a brochure. Offering pure human propaganda to one of the longest-lived voices in cybernetics is not yet foolhardy in terms of your career. Madame Flores will literally pay off your friends and family to disown you. Now isn't the time to go in a heated argument. No? Bad. Me. Okay. Let's show in the business card. Fairlight already told you they had a fire falling out. Don't remind her any more than you have to. Madame Flores has a bear for handling business cards. Oh. In fact, she has a bear specifically hired to deal with that bear, and a bear to deal with the first bear. Yeah. Okay, let's give him.
Don't let him eat it.
Oh, I didn't give him the stuff. Don't be fooled by the veneer of courtesy. Pat is a bear with brain implants and probably knows exactly what this is. Guessing he wouldn't appreciate the propaganda. I didn't have this before.
If he comes after you, I can't stop him.
You can't stop him? Don't be fooled. Okay, it's business card. Luckily, he doesn't seem to recognize the name. Huh?
Don't let him eat it.
Okay. Let's give him a stun gun.
Run!
Did I just stun him? Now that you think about it, it's odd you weren't checked for weapons before being allowed in. Now that you... Okay. Let's listen to him. Whoa! That little helmet he wears is constantly translating the TVs into growls and grunts in his ear, so he can understand. This bear is probably obsessed with reality television by now. Wow. Okay. Let's show my ID card. Did Pat just snicker at your DMV photo? Hard to tell with his butler politeness. The fact that he is a bear makes translation slightly difficult. Okay, enough. I show her everything. Let's talk to her.
If you were one of Fairlight's worker bees, you wouldn't have made it through the door. So why are you here to badger me about poor Hayden?
Mm.
You have me at a disadvantage, Ms. Flores. You seem far ahead of us on this matter.
Just call me Melody, darling. And of course. But I'll share a secret or two with you.
Mm.
I have so many questions. Do you know what's happened to Hayden?
I wish I didn't. Maybe you don't want to either.
Please, Melody, any information you might have. We haven't had access to any of his research notes, and couldn't track down any collaborators he may have been working with. Perhaps if we know more, we might be able to nail down a solid motive.
Well, I don't know if I can speculate on that, beyond the usual corporate infighting. Not that Parallax is known for that, of course. We had been catching up recently, and he mentioned feelings of being watched. He started to worry he had been discussing your development with the wrong people. When he stopped returning my calls, and now that you've shown up with a total stranger, it becomes clear what happened.
I see. Can you tell us anything else about his disappearance?
Oh, I'm afraid not, dear. I've been around long enough to know what's coincidence and what isn't.
We were hoping you might be able to shine some light on my origins. Fairlight mentioned that you had worked with Hayden in the past.
I see Hayden didn't neglect curiosity in your personality makeup. Well, you and I haven't properly met, but considering how often Hayden badgered me for design schematics of Flower's latest neural implants, I might as well be your aunt?
Oh.
We'll go with that. I wouldn't mind being an aunt. Even to a blue-headed robot.
Nice.
I'm touched, Melody.
Well then, I'm willing to answer your questions. For now.
I feel like I've been here the side character right now. She's just talking to Turing, not to me. How did you help Hayden with Turing? What's the story between you and Fairlight? I think that's everything we need to know. Yeah, how did you help Hayden with Turing?
Indeed. I don't see the connection between your company and Hayden's research into machine sapience.
Oh, Hayden wasn't researching machine sapience. At least not primarily. Not to diminish the importance of your creation, Turing, but it's best you know the truth. Hayden is mainly interested in developing a way to transfer human consciousness into a machine matrix. You can see why neural implants would obviously be an integral part of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize.
So how would Turing's development help with the digitizing the human mind?
The concept of transferring the human mind into a computer has been an attractive goal for decades. Functional immortality is a powerful lure. The brain is an immensely complicated machine, and even though we know the right buttons to push to make pictures show up, we still can't replicate the entire thing as a technological construct. Even with the virtual reality implants, we're really just relying on the brain's ability to make sense of nonsensical signals. So Hayden decided the best way to make a machine more like the human brain would be to work in the opposite direction. Instead of mimicking how the human brain worked, he started writing code that mimicked the functioning of the human mind. Think of it like convergent evolution. Two species adapt in similar ways, but on completely different continents. Hayden is a crack programmer when it comes to information collating. It's why Parallax hired him when they did. So he wrote a bunch of self-modifying learning algorithms that were, frankly, baffling and let them loose. Poke and prod them here and there to make sure they value the same things humans do. And we eventually end up with you, Turing.
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Hayden never revealed any of this to me.
I imagine he's pretty tight-lipped. You were the first prototype he considered a real success, and he was afraid of contaminating your development before he had a chance to make good observations.
So, can you elaborate your involvement?
Phew, if you can even call it involvement. It's a small city, and if you're in the tech sector, you are never more than 2 degrees removed from anyone else. When he started looking into this pet project of his, he came right up to my door and demanded access to the research logs behind our earlier implants. Cheeky, but it was impactful and disruptive, as they like to say around here. I couldn't care less about Flowers' patents anymore, so I gave him what he wanted, just to see what he would do. I'm frankly more impressed than I expected I would be, but don't tell him that.
Don't worry,
Don't worry.
I won't.
Oh, that was a compliment, dear.
So she knows something happened, but she doesn't know what happened. Yeah. Anyways, Hayden wasn't invested in Turing's development.
I didn't say that. Hayden was quite interested in Turing, even if he is just a step to further research. In fact, he was preparing to publish his findings involving Turing, and I know it's going to make one heck of a splash in the scientific community.
Yeah.
See, the most impressive part about you, Turing, is that you're surprisingly stock.
I assure you, Melody, my construction involves only the latest and greatest in ROM prototype technology.
Exactly. You're not off the shelf, but you're still just a souped-up ROM, more or less like every other one out there. Your personality algorithms are impressive, but they don't require some new space-age technology to work. Hayden is going to propose that human consciousness transference does not require special brain-like hardware architecture, but merely the right software wrapper to interface with the hardware. Much like how you function.
I suppose that is correct. Still, my personality matrices do take up substantial amounts of my processing power. Wouldn't custom hardware have capabilities that better serve such a demanding specialized task?
Sure. There's still plenty of reason in trying to make a computer that works just like a human brain. Efficiency is an important part of that. But if Hayden can emulate the human mind in existing technology, it means we can start the immortality now, rather than waiting for hardware to catch up with Hayden's software. Frankly, I'm not terribly interested in living forever, but there's more than enough people who are.
Thank you for this, Melody. I understand so little of my origins.
Well, I'm sorry I don't know more of the specifics. Hayden kept me up to date on his progress, but only in the vaguest of ways. If you can hunt down his notes, I'm sure they'll tell you more.
Of course. We'll keep looking. Now, perhaps we could ask some other questions?
Sure.
Sure. What's the story between you and Fairlight?
Oh, hell, that old bastard and I have been flashing daggers at each other for the better part of 20 years. I contracted out the software development for our first-gen direct-link VR neural implants to System 1. Things were going great, but after the first models sold like gangbusters, Yannick tried to get into bed with me, literally.
Ooh.
I turned him down, very politely, I might add, and then suddenly all of the cooperation between our companies dried up. We've been at it back and forth ever since. I'd be damned careful about trusting him if I were you. He's a snake, and he'll do anything he can to get what he wants. Still, I suppose if he tried again now, I might not turn him down.
Yeah.
It would be fun to needle him about me still having my own company when he doesn't have his.
I think that's everything we need to know.
Good. I can get back to my retirement.
Thank you for your time, Melody. We'll be in touch later.
Oh, one more piece of information for you, if you'd like it. I've got the contact info for a Vincent Mensa, who I think might be of help to you.
Oh.
Vincent was working more closely with Hayden inside Parallax, mostly on his company-approved research on data collating algorithms for the mesh. I'll send him a message and ask him to meet you somewhere.
That sounds good.
He owes me a favor anyway, and might be able to give you some more information on anything else Hayden may have been working on.
That would be fantastic, Melody. Perhaps Golden Gate Park?
Good
Be
work.
careful, Turing. I don't like Fairlight's stench all over this scenario. Don't show him too many of your cards.
Oh yeah.
Cards? This euphemism is unfamiliar to me.
Don't tell him anything if you can. Fairlight is more dangerous the more he's informed.
Thank you, Aunt Melody. Wish us luck.
It's funny. Turing doesn't know about playing the game. The game of talking back and forth. It's like when you're putting up all your arguments in a card and you just tell them, you did this because of that or that. And the other one goes like, no, but I have this. This is the counter argument for your argument. But if you show them all your cards, he knows already what he needs to play. So that's why you don't show your cards to the people. Yeah. Let's go to the GG Park. Let's meet the guy. Maybe let's meet the guy. Ah yeah, hello.
Who is there? I cannot see a thing. I shall make a note to request more street lamps in this park. This is much too dark an area.
Oh.
Poor thing. It can't see at all with its optics painted over like that. It doesn't even know.
Let's use it. That spray paint isn't coming off, and you probably irritate him more if you start prowling.
Oh, I hate bullet.
Oh?
Who is there? I shall make a note to request more.
Okay, let's go to guy. But first, let's go to Alfie.
Hello
Hey,
again.
Alfie.
Have you come back for some of my cool, refreshing water?
Yes. Some sparkling
Did
water
you know
would be
that I'll
nice.
soon have
Sparkling water.
available?
Sparkling water.
It's just as cool and refreshing.
You don't have it yet? No. Oh, damn. Okay, let's look at this guy. You've never seen this person, and they appear to be waiting for somebody. Only one way to find out. You've never seen... Okay. Let's use the damn headphones.
Can I help you? I don't really have time to talk. I'm waiting for someone.
Okay.
Are you Vincent Mensa? We're here for a meeting on behalf of Melody Flores.
Oh, good. You're Melody's people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have everything that I asked for?
There must be some miscommunication. Melody said that you would be able to provide us with some information about Hayden Weber's projects within Parallax.
Mm-hmm.
He has gone missing, and any information we get may be useful.
Damn that old woman.
What?
We had a deal. She promised me, and I'm not giving up anything until I get what I need.
Then
I
what do
already
you
know
need?
Hayden is missing. Why else would I be willing to sell corporate secrets to Flower? This was my chance to get out of the city. Instead, she sends the two of you, hat in hand with nothing. I'm assuming you're Hayden's little pet AI?
Insulting, but accurate.
Look, I'm sorry to come off callous. I do want to help.
Mm-hmm.
Hayden was a colleague and a friend, and I want to know he's okay. But I also need help getting the hell out of Neo SF, and now. My info is my leverage, and it's not for... I'll just have to find another buyer.
Not for free.
Maybe after I make another deal, I'll be able to pass it to you.
Perhaps we could assist you? My friend here is a terrific journalist. Being skilled at hunting down people and information is part of the job.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I need 100,000 credits, an untraceable car, and a fake passport for me and my wife, Francesca. If you
Francesca.
can get me all that, I'll give you anything you want. Hayden's research notes, what I know about Parallax, my company's security credentials, whatever. If you're really sure journals can come up with that kind of stuff in one day.
I think we might be able to do that.
Might?
Thing. But do you mind answering some other question first?
Dear God, I'm doomed.
Melody only gave us a rough sketch of what you need. The more you can tell us about the situation, the sooner we can fulfill your request.
Sure, as long as it isn't the juicy stuff.
Alright. So what did you do for Parallax?
I'm the head applications engineer for their data analysis division. Or maybe was, is what I should be saying. If Hayden is the big brain who comes up with the math that runs the search algorithms, I'm the guy who figures out how to collect and apply the data that we get.
Mm-hmm.
We've worked pretty closely for years, but he's head and shoulders above me as far as theory goes. Hayden built a fully independent machine intelligence in his spare time. Don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to bash myself here. I'm a good software engineer, probably one of the best. But machine intelligence? In a form factor like yours? Now that blows my mind. We've got full immersion, virtual reality, yet most people would still call you science fiction.
If you say so.
So why are you so adamant about getting out of NeoSF?
Because Parallax is rotting from the inside out. Hayden going missing is the last straw, and it's a big-ass straw. There is... how do I put this without giving it away? There's a new project about to roll out, and it's going to change everything about how Parallax does their business worldwide. Since the launch of the MeshNet, we've had some board shakeups, and the people at the top are different from the ones who've previously run the company. The altruism the company displayed in the past is gone. They're harder, more ruthless, and more concerned with profits and power than ever before. Not just richest company in the valley power either. Real power. My guess? Parallax got rid of Hayden because he was about to do something that would get in the way of that. If they're willing to get rid of the brightest mind on their payroll, what's to stop them from getting rid of me? There's a half dozen people who could do my job. So I'm getting out before I accidentally step on the wrong person's toes and end up at the bottom of the bay.
So, do you know anything about Hayden's disappearance?
Nothing concrete. I probably wouldn't have noticed anything out of the ordinary. I mean, Hayden goes out for a couple days all the time, right? Conferences and guest teaching. He doesn't exactly share his itinerary with me. I tried asking around and no one will say anything. If he had jumped ship, went to a different company, it would be the talk of the week at the water coolers. Instead, dead silence. Thankfully, he allowed me to keep backups of most of his work, simply because I cross-referenced it so much. He didn't like having it all in one place anyway. Bring me what I asked for, and I'll tell you more.
So, alright, thank you. We'll get those things for you.
I need to make some calls, and this park ROM is fun. I want to poke at it a bit. If you do manage to get what I need, bring it here today and you'll get anything you want. Forwarding photos and info for the passports to touring now. And I really hope you can do this. I'd rather give it to you than some other corporation anyway. See you soon.
Alright.
I'm not quite sure where to get fake passports or an untraceable car. The only shady folks we know are those punks who vandalized Hayden's apartment. I doubt they could point us in the right direction, but a long shot is better than no shot. They might agree to help us in repayment for the damage done to the apartment. We should check Market Street for them, in case they regularly hang out there.
Alright.
As for the rest, perhaps Dr. Fairlight or Melody could spot us the credits. That certainly is no small amount, but is unlikely to cause much consternation for either of them, assuming they are as dedicated to helping as they claim.
Maybe we can use Dr. Fairlight to give us the creds.
Melody is assumably home as usual, and Fairlight did let us know he'd be at the hospital. We could ask either of them for assistance. Up to you to decide which would be a better course of action.
But first, for his sake, let's turn it off. I don't want him to get wet and break his chair. So let's first looking for the punks. Oh, Brian is still back, and they're here. I'm gonna go inside. Who could have been there? Oh, everything's empty. Ramooooona!
The Hassy Rum will help you
Ramooooona!
get your Hassy fix.
Oh. Nothing else. What do you have to say, Brian?
Welcome back. Care to take a
Wait, okay, it's the same?
after someone instigate until my people feel safe?
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same. Unhumans.
Yeah, they call themselves hybrid. Why, just the other day, and
That's all what I wanted
Great.
to ask.
do tell me.
Forgive me if I'm wrong.
Oh, that's yes.
Yeah. I will write a good thing. Thanks for the interview. Yeah.
And remember,
Yeah. Let's zap him. Or can I? Do you really think vent and violence will be help? Yes. Well, this will one way to take a stand. Do you really want to shoot Brian? No. No. Blast away.
You, don't move. Drop the weapon.
Come on.
No, wait! We don't have time for this! What's wrong with... Your reckless behavior has ruined everything!
Okay, shut down. Okay, it's the same. Stop! Stop, Oliver! Oliver, my
Oh,
man.
crap! It's that reporter in the bot again! Cheese it, Ollie!
Hold on a moment. We're just here to ask the two of you for a favor. You don't need to run again.
I knew you didn't have the guts to mess with me!
Guts?
And why would we want to help you?
We did trash that apartment, Chad.
Yeah? So?
We also didn't report you to the police for it.
Yeah? So?
And they still could.
Oh. Alright, well, spill it then! I ain't got all day! Can't you see me and Oliver are busy?
We need some assistance with some illicit activity that, statistically, individuals in your age bracket are likely to have experience with.
That's kinda nice.
Oh! So this is one of those things where you need a streetwise kid to show you the ropes.
Yeah?
So, what's the thread? B&E? War driving? Copyright infringement? Search bombing?
Is search bombing actually illegal?
Mm-hmm.
It's against the terms of service, so probably, at least in California.
We just need to buy some fake IDs today if it's possible.
Oh, that's nothing. If you can pay. Ollie can whip up a couple that'll work good enough to get you past a bouncer or a cop doing sniff tests. He's a wizard with a printer and a lifted wallet.
It's more complicated than that. We need falsified passports that can get two people past the border safely.
Oh, yeah, I don't think Ollie can do that. Can you?
Not without equipment a lot more expensive and illegal than what I already have.
What about that guy who got at least that unrestricted mesh card when she was on probation?
Mm-hmm.
That's not really the same thing, Chad. But it wouldn't hurt to give him a call.
Yeah.
Give me a few minutes. This guy is pretty sketchy, very cloak and dagger. I'll have to play middleman.
Excellent. I'll forward you the relevant documents and photos.
Oh man, now I'm starting to feel left out. Ollie gets to show off all his cool connections. You sure you don't need someone's head kicked in a little? That's my area of expertise in our little duo. Well, that and petty larceny.
we might have something that will suit your skill set. Let's just get the passports first, if you can stay calm for that long.
You sure yap a lot more than any of the ROMs I've ever owned. What's the deal? You install some new conversation routines Ollie ain't had the chance to nerd out about yet? Well,
Sure
they're
thing.
top notch. Very bleeding edge.
I don't run traditional ROM VI personality software. I am, in fact, the first fully sapient machine intelligence. Well, at least that I know about.
Which means what exactly? In English.
It means he's a person, Chad, not a toy. Now keep it down. I'm still on the phone.
Oops. And yes, what he said.
Well, that's awesome. You ain't so bad. For a tin can.
Tin can? Really? I'm composed almost entirely out of plasteel and silica. Has no one come up with better insults for robots since the turn of the century? ROMs have been out for almost 2 decades.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The literally meaning of you don't have better insults like that.
Give me a sec. I'm pretty good at name calling too.
Oh no, I'm sorry I brought it up.
Just hold on a second. Underclocked? Oh, Bitbrain!
Bitbrain, yo.
Don't hurt yourself, Chad.
I'll get back to you, Bubblehead.
Okay, I talked to the guy. He
And?
said he'll do it, but he only works in trade. A couple of passports are gonna run us... One signed poster for Magical Commander Yukino? Yukino at the Gates to the Deep?
What?
Course. It's always that Japanese crap.
It's not my fault they make the best VR dramas. Maybe you can do better?
Probably.
Anyway, where can we get a poster like that?
I'm not
Ramooooona.
sure. Probably nearby. I've done switches with this guy before, and he never asks for something that'll take too long to get. My guess is he's a local that uses people like us as a way to nab something he's had his eye on. We'll help you look for it.
Chet and Oliver joined your party. Eh? I know already. Ramooooona!
Oh, there it is! I knew I saw a poster for Magical Commander Yukino somewhere around here. I should have remembered Ramona had one.
I know already. I
You
know
know this
Ramooooona.
lady?
Sure. We talk sometimes when I'm getting our drinks. You're usually too busy provoking people to notice.
You call it provoking. I call it spontaneous enthusiasm for healthy rivalry.
There's a bit of a line. We'll have to wait a few minutes before we can talk to her.
Who's that guy?
We could just do a smash and grab. Simple and effective.
We can't do that! She knows who we are!
Us too.
This is the most boring felony I've ever been an accessory to.
Look, we'll just stand in line.
Like a bunch of clumps? Chumps? What is the big picture anyway, Blue Bomber?
I'm not sure it's wise to spread it around, Chad. For either of us, the less you know, the less reason anyone has to bother you.
Screw that, Static. I'm not heading to juvie not knowing what for. Spill the beans, or I'll spill them for you.
Your persistence is already legendary, Chad. fine.
Yeah. Fine.
If you really must know, we are going to trade the passports for some information regarding the disappearance of my creator. His
Yeah.
apartment was the one you trashed.
Oh shit, that Hayden dude is your dad? And they snatched him? Oh, that's so messed up.
Well, Dad, after a fashion, he raised me.
Man, I hope you find the dudes that took him. I hope he's okay.
It seems very unlikely.
Oh.
Oh man, I don't know what to say, you know? I mean, I still have my dad, but he's...
Chad?
He's never really been around. Too busy trying to save the world from itself.
Oh.
Even now, he's over there standing in front of that damn clinic.
Ryan Mulberry. This is dead.
And I thought I could find a way to make him... Whatever. I might as well nuke that drive. It ain't gonna sink.
Poor guy.
I think I understand what you mean, Chad.
Hell yeah! Dudes gotta stick together, you know?
Dudes?
You're a dude now, Tori.
Don't matter if you're a robot or what. We all got the same shit to deal with. Gotta grab destiny by the horns and make your own mark.
From the mouth of babes. You're pretty open-minded for a kid who tags for the HR. Well, you're smarter than you look, Chad.
People keep saying that, and I keep wanting to punch them for it.
It's probably the hair.
You think? Well, I ain't willing to give up my dude just so people will think I'm a brain. Got an image to protect.
I still think it would be better in yellow.
Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Maybe we can get a box of dye on the way home.
Nice.
The line has finally cleared up. Let's go talk to Ramooona.
Yeah, Ramooona. Yeah, I
Howdy.
know you.
And it's you, with the cute ROM.
Salutations, Ramooona.
What can I do for you all?
Ahem.
Oh, this is my friend, Chad.
Nice to meet you.
Hmm.
Yeah, you too.
We were hoping you might be able to give us your assistance, Ms. Rogers.
We want to make a trade for that magical Commander Yukino poster over there. It's necessary for us to get some pretty important information.
Mm-hmm.
No way! Not happening. No. Yukino is off limits.
Come on. We don't have time for this. Go get it, Chad. Okay. This is literally a matter of life and death, Ramooona.
How does life and death depend on a nerdy poster? Look, I don't even care. That poster was signed by Takeko herself. It's one of a kind, and I'm not giving it up.
I'd rather
Yeah.
not drag you any further into this than necessary, but I promise that we're not overstating it. This is a dire situation, and people have already died.
Jeez. Look, whatever you're doing sounds sketch as hell. I and Magical Commander Yukino herself want no part in it.
Oh.
I don't even see how the poster can help.
But come on, I listened all day to your Ramooona.
Man, you nerds sure do love your cheap crap from the net.
Cheap crap! I'll have you know that poster is worth hundreds of credits. Maybe more. Takeko passed away years ago, so there aren't any more of them getting signed. It's special.
Sure it is.
Urgh!
He doesn't get it. He's not in the fandom.
Hmm?
Thankfully.
We can get you another one. It will do take a few days.
It's not just a poster. It was a gift from someone.
From who?
Someone I care about, okay? Besides, you can't get another one. Takeko passed away a few years ago.
Perhaps there's something else that would make a suitable trade?
You aren't hearing me, are you? It has sentimental value. You can't replace that.
Sentimental. Sentimental.
Look, you'll just have to order something off the mesh, because you can't have this one.
Oh, we don't have time. This lead will dry up by then.
Keep me out of this.
Come on, Ramooooona, please.
Okay, enough. How about this for a trade? I have an original keyframe cell from Pretty Champion Sailor Sirius, signed by Takeko at home.
Whoa! You have a signed Sailor Sirius cell? That's super rare!
Yeah.
They stopped doing keyframes by hand right around the time of her death.
You can't be serious, Ollie! You have that thing framed on your wall! Anyone shut up about it for a week after you got it!
This is important, Chad. You can't say you wouldn't do the same thing if someone had your dad. Think about Turing. I can't
What a
ask
nice
Ramooooona
guy.
to give up something important to her if I'm not willing to do the same.
Maybe.
Look, okay, I don't know what's going on, but you can't give me that cell for the poster.
Hmm?
But we need...
Yeah, you'll get the poster. Whatever you're doing, it must be really important if you'd be willing to give that up. Do you have something more equal to trade, Ollie?
A couple of things, maybe.
We'll talk about it then. Maybe you can find me another one, too. Go ahead and take the poster.
What was that one? What
Thank
a
you,
nice
Ramooooona.
girl.
Yes! I can't tell you how much it means to us, Ms. Rogers.
Ramooooona! You're the MVP!
Sure. And, you think I could see that cell sometime, Ollie?
Of course! I'll bring it over when we talk about the trade.
So cool!
Ramooooona, I always knew you're the nice one. You're the good girl. Hmm?
I don't like the way she was flirting with you, Ollie.
Hmm? Hmm?
What are you talking
Yeah?
about?
She likes you.
I know flirting when I see it, and I'm saying I don't like it. Not one bit.
We just talk about old anime sometimes, Chad. Neither of us are interested in the other.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Well, we have the poster now. What's next?
Go ahead and call this number, Turing. He'll want to set up the drop with you, now that I've introduced you to him.
Your thing.
Sure. Change the subject.
I'll call him right now then.
Oh, Chad is scared he will lose him.
It's ringing.
You the ones looking for some papers?
We are, and we have the requested payment with us.
Good. We're gonna do this real professional-like. You know Stardust?
Yeah.
I do.
Head there. Leave the poster behind the Megaphobator arcade cabinet, and get out. Come back 10 minutes later, and your stuff will be behind the machine.
I understand.
Good. I'll be waiting.
Well, that was very mysterious.
Yeah, that's how this guy is. I don't even know his name, and I've been getting things from him for a few years now.
Who cares? Let him play Spy Master if he wants. Let's hurry up to Stardust and get this over with. I've wasted enough of my day with this crap.
Alright, but first let's talk to Dad. Dot. Let's show him the poster. Oh. Let's Farlight, Miss Flowers, Stardust, clap.
Go inside to make the drop. We'll wait out here.
Yeah, don't want to get our IDs taken.
I suppose I should feign surprise.
Hey, it's a pretty cool set, even if it is like 1,000,000 years old.
They don't really care about the IDs unless you try to hit the bar.
Found that one out the hard way.
We would have been fine if you hadn't taken a swing at the bouncer.
So I like the hard way.
We'll be right back, gentlemen. Try not to set the building on fire while we're gone.
My man.
You coming in?
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank you for the invite.
to Stardust.
What a nice guy. My
Hey
man.
friends, what can we get for you?
I like a drink,
What
please.
are you having?
Some Tokyo tea?
Coming right up. I'll ask Gus if I don't know what it is. He's better with the weird kind of stuff people ask for these days. Some of these
Ooh.
Sorry about stealing your thunder. This one is...
Melon liquor with vodka, rum, tequila, gin, and triple air or something. It's like Long Island. But basically will kill you if you have like two.
Does that sound good?
Yes, that sounds good.
Here you go.
Hey, Gus.
Oh, hey there. Do you...
Yeah, that should be
Later, you
everything.
two.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Let's drink something. That hits the spot. Hey, Jess. How you doing?
Oh, it's you again.
Hello.
As you could already see, I'm busy right now.
Okay. Yeah, let's go and deposit there.
Well, that should do it. That was an awful lot of fuss over a poster. I just don't understand the appeal of merchandise like this. I keep my important possessions on my data drive.
Yeah, but humans don't have a total recall like you do.
Ah, that is true. Ramooooona seemed more concerned with it being a gift from a friend than as an item of importance in its own right. Perhaps it is necessity to keep such things around as tokens from better times.
It is memories. Memories your friends has gifted you. And every time when you look at it, you can recall that memory.
Perhaps I should pick up a few things from the apartment. Whatever's left.
That would be nice, yeah.
I do have perfect recall, but a few of Hayden's things would be nice reminders. Memories are better for remembering than reading. But that's enough navel gazing. Let's head back outside so our benefactor can make the trade.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Y'all do the deal?
How did it go?
We left the poster behind the cabinet. Now we just need to wait for the switch.
I've never had to wait more than 5 minutes or so before. It shouldn't take long. I wonder how he knows the drop happened, and gets to it so fast.
Don't matter. This guy's a solid feed, even if he likes to mess around.
Oh yeah.
What do you need these passports for anyway? You said to trade for information, but what's the full story?
Without going into too much detail, our informant needs to get out of Neo SF unnoticed. The passports are one part of that. We also need to obtain an untraceable car. I don't suppose the two of you could help with that?
No way, dude! Grand Theft Auto is a felony with a capital F! Besides, getting an untraceable car ain't in the same league as a piece of plastic that'll fool a hand scanner.
Chad's right.
Course I'm right.
The city's traffic management system keeps track of all vehicles passively, even if you manage to circumvent their firmware and keep them from actively reporting to the network.
Maybe you could use Tomcat for that.
You have to spoof the car as something permitted to be invisible for the CTOS to ignore it.
I don't want to mess with boosting cars anyway. The junks run that racket in Neo SF, and they don't play nice.
Especially with the HR.
Well, thank you either way. You've both done us a huge favor. Call it even for the apartment.
Yeah, Blue. No hard feelings. You give us a call if you need anything else, long as it'll help you find your pops.
What a nice guys.
We should get going, though. We were supposed to be home hours ago.
My dad won't notice, but Ollie's will flip. You take care. Don't get derezzed.
Thank you, man.
See ya.
See you soon, guys.
Goodbye.
Ciao, ciao.
Let's finish the trade inside.
Yeah.
Welcome to Stardust.
I love him, he's nice. But first, let's check here. Hey.
Here the passports are, just as advertised. Now we need to find a car. Jess is right over there. Perhaps she may know someone who can lend a hand.
I like the number of holes I already have. I like the number of holes I already have. Sure, but can you do the talking, please?
Good thinking.
Hi, Jess.
You know, I was just thinking tonight couldn't possibly get worse. Go ahead and spit it out so I can tell you no and move on with my evening.
We need access to an untraceable car. An informant of ours needs to get out of the city without attracting the attention of Parallax and is offering valuable information to us in exchange.
Oh, well then it's double no. I'm not sure why you think just because I defend a few folks in the rougher parts of the city that I would have that kind of connection. And even if one of my clients did run a carjacking business, it's not like society is clamoring to give hybrids legal jobs. Regardless, I'm not going to be an accessory to a felony, or let one of my clients be either.
Ah, come on.
My friends aren't a bunch of thieves you can recruit. But that's a nice assumption to make. Just wonderful.
You spend all your time at the bar doing nothing anyway. Come on, you don't do anything. Let's go. Is there any possible way you could give us any kind of lead at all?
I know we're reaching, but this is important.
Not to me, it isn't. I'm busy crushing the geniarchy, if you don't mind. If you want petty criminal shit, go ask Majid. There are rumors he may have been involved in some shady stuff way back in the day. That's the best you'll get from me. I wear the white hat. Oh, and while you're at the bar, get me another drink. Bye-bye.
What kind?
Well, that went about how we expected, didn't it?
Yeah.
At least we walked away with all of our limbs still attached. Maybe Majid will offer us some gentler conversation.
Yeah, come on, let's give her a drink. But first, Majid, my man.
Hey, friends, what can we get for you?
We were hoping you could give us a little information.
Sure, but first, let's get you a drink. What'll it be?
Let's go with clumsy Belarusian.
Coming right up. I'll ask Gus if I don't know what it is. He's better with the weird kind of stuff people ask for these days. Some of these cocktails make me need a spa day.
This one is...
Clumsy Belarusian is 1.5 powers H rum, 1 ounce fresh lime juice, half an ounce maple syrup, 1 teaspoon paprika, and 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. For the alcohol snobs, taste your sour, savory, and wintry.
Does that sound good?
Perfect. Was perfect every moment.
Here you go. So, what did you need help with?
We've run into a roadblock in our search for Hayden.
Word on the street is that he's gone missing, which I'm sure you already know. What can I do?
Yes. An informant of ours needs secure transportation out of the city, but we don't have any contacts who would be able to get us an untraceable car. Jess mentioned that you used to engage in certain extra-legal activities.
Come on, you cannot say it like this. You need to say something. A certain person mentioned that something happened with you and some extra legal activities, but you cannot just say, "Yep, that girl there told me that you know absolutely everything about that."
Perhaps you could point us towards someone who could help?
He doesn't do that kind of stuff anymore.
Right. Sorry, friends. I left that life behind a long time ago. Don't really keep in touch with that crew anymore.
Ah, of course. Completely understandable. Sorry to bother you then.
Well, no harm in asking, right?
Yeah.
My reputation precedes me.
Don't let it go to your head.
Gus, I need to go to the back and gather up stuff to restock for the rush later on. Mind manning the bar for me?
Take your time. I think I can keep things under control.
Thanks.
Nice.
Love you, hun.
Well, that leaves us at a dead end. Any ideas on how we should proceed? Some nose-to-the-ground journalist techniques for finding leads?
Maybe there's another way out of the city? We could just give Vincent what he's got and twist his arm for the rest. Maybe we could ask Tomcat.
No, Tomcat has already stuck their neck out for us too often. I feel a little bad about how much we've relied on them as it is. And
Come
besides,
on.
this is a considerably more felonious action. Morally, we should be dirtying our own hands.
Maybe we could find an old manually driven car. For a guy in a wheelchair, manually will be a little bit hard. Except if he uses a stick for the clutch. What about going for just friends directly?
That might be our only option. Though last time we had to have Jess vouch for us so we wouldn't get sold for parts. Well, I'd get sold for parts. I don't know about you.
Well, they could take my organs.
Can you even use human parts for anything?
Sure.
Regardless, we might have to chance it. I hope you can ask around without drawing too much attention to us.
Oh, come on. Okay, the two of you are killing me here. Look, don't tell Majid about this. But, here.
Oh.
What is this, Gus?
Oh.
It's an automated vehicle maintenance scanner with a few less than standard upgrades. When you circumvent its security codes, you can use it to scan a car's installed firmware and replace it with a new set that will spoof its presence on the city's network. That's the gist of it, but we don't have time to get into any specifics. You need to get the hell out of here with that before Majid gets back.
Why the urgency?
Look, Majid has done a lot to turn his life around, to turn my life around. I really respect that about him, and it's part of why I fell in love with him.
No.
He did what I was never able to. That's how we met, you know? That old rough and tumble life we both led. But when Stardust struggled and needed money fast, I had to get back in the game to keep us afloat for a few years. I told him it was all angel loans, donations from patrons, lots of things. He'd be heartbroken if he found out I'm still in the game. I had to do whatever I could to keep our new life, even if only one of us is really living it. I may as well give this thing to someone who wants to use it for good, too.
I can't tell you how much we appreciate this, Gus.
What a nice man.
We might finally be on our way to solving this mystery.
Yeah, well, you didn't get it from me, okay? Just get out of here and get on with your little Grand Theft Auto. And let me know how it goes, okay?
Sure thing.
Of course.
Alright, let's give Jessie a drink.
Huh. Actually did it, huh?
Sure.
Well, you scored a point. But don't think I don't have enough cuties around who can handle that. You've got more important things to be doing. Get a move on.
Always for you, Jess. Always for you.
Well, now I think we're cooking with gas, as the colloquialism goes. I'm searching the mesh for instructions on how to use this device as we speak. Let's go look for some likely candidates. I should be ready by then.
Yes, look at this.
Oh, rats! This car has the wrong firmware and we won't be able to install our new firmware over top of it. We'll have to check another car.
Alright, but before we're doing it, let me say thank you very much you watched it for me. It was very blessed. We did so much today and I hope it will be more next day. And for everything else, thank you. Thank you for watching this video. On the next video we will try to find the car and hope we can rely on it. Or maybe we can borrow it for an undefined time. And for that, see you the next time. Bye bye.